Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for coming back on over to the WEIGO podcast YouTube and tuning in for this video. I am your girl, host of the What Else Is Going On podcast, aka WEIGO, which can be found wherever you listen to your podcast, Amazon Music, Spotify, Apple, wherever it is you listen. Just type in What Else Is Going On with Taria S. Faison and subscribe. And for those of you that are watching, if you haven't already, if you could please like, subscribe, and comment, that would mean a lot. It already means a lot to me, those of you that have subscribed. I appreciate you coming on over here and having a kiki with me. So I want to shout out to my boo, the WEGO correspondent. Y'all have heard me talk about him, Mr. Carlos J. Harris. So he sent me two articles that I want to get into. And then also there's some other things that came across the WeGo podcast desk that I want to talk to y'all about. I'm sure y'all have heard commentary about them, but y'all know I like to come on down here and give my commentary as well and kiki with y'all. First up, before we get into the things, let's give congratulations to Miss Gabby Sidibe. I think that's how you say her last name. So according to the Shade Room, hashtag TSRF Family Affairs, congratulations, Gabby Sidibe. Is it Sidibe or Sidibe? You know what I'm going to say? Sidibe. Congratulations, Gabby Sidibe reveals that she is pregnant with twins. So there's a picture of her and her, I believe it's her fiance. Let me share the screen with y'all real quick so y'all can see it. Y'all know I just learned how to do that. So as y'all can see, the caption says, "I'm pregnant. We thought it was time to give our cats some responsibility. So we're giving them each a baby to take care of. Double the babies, double the cats, double the fun. Twin delivery coming soon, 2024. I thought that was so cute. So congratulations to Gabby on her pregnancy. I wish you a happy, healthy pregnancy, happy, healthy, beautiful baby. So congratulations to her. Now let's get into some not so celebratory things. Well, I guess it depends on who you are in this case. First up, let's talk about Sean Diddy Combs. Isn't his name like Love Now, P Love or something like that? Anyway, according to NBC News exclusive, Sean Diddy Combs accused of sexual harassment. I didn't mean to say the word, but it's said now. An assault by producer on his latest album. Rodney Lil Rod Jones says his life has been detrimentally impacted since he worked with Combs. Sean Diddy Combs was sued Monday in federal court by a producer on his most recent album who accuses the music mogul of actually harassing, drugging, and threatening him over more than a year. The producer, Rodney Lil Rod Jones, says in his lawsuit that he lived and traveled with Combs from September 2022 to November 2023, during which time he recorded hours of video and audio of Combs, his staff, and others engaging in serious illegal activity. Among the allegations is that Combs forced Jones to procure ex-workers and pressured him to engage in unwanted acts with them and others, and that Combs gave laced alcoholic beverages to people who attended parties at his home. The lawsuit includes what it says are screenshots from gatherings hosted at Combs's home, say that 3 times, that included underage girls and ex-workers, some of whom he said were provided drinks that had been laced with drugs at Combs' direction. The suit, filed in U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York, also names Combs' adult son, Justin, his chief of staff, Christina Coram, Universal Music Group CEO, Sir Lucian Grange, and former Motown Records of CEO, Ethiopia Habtemariam. I'm going to say it that way, Habtemariam, as defendants. Jones says in the lawsuit that Grange, Habtemariam, Motown Records, Love Records, and Universal Music Group effectively worked together with Combs in a RICO enterprise that failed to adequately monitor, warn, or supervise the action of Combs, his son, and his chief of staff. A RICO enterprise is any individuals or groups that act together to violate the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. Jones is seeking $30 million. Representatives for Coram, Grange, Motown Records, and Love Records did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Habtemariam could not immediately be reached for comment. I feel like I'm saying that name so wrong, so I apologize if you know how it's said and you keep hearing me say it wrong. Representatives for Justin Combs said in a statement that he categorically denies these absurd allegations. They are all lies, exclamation mark. This is a clear example of a desperate person taking desperate measures in hopes of a payday, the statement said. There will be legal consequences for all defamatory statements made about the Combs family. An attorney for Combs said Jones' reckless name dropping about events that are pure fiction and simply did not happen is nothing more than a transparent attempt to garner headlines. We have overwhelming, indisputable proof that his claims are complete lies. Our attempts to share this proof with Mr. Jones' attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, have been ignored as Mr. Blackburn refuses to return our calls, the attorney, Sean Holly, said in a statement. We will address these outlandish allegations in court and take all appropriate action against those who make them. The suit is the latest in a series of damning allegations against Combs. So I'm just going to get into a little bit of it. According to Jones' lawsuit, in or about August 2022, Combs called Jones and requested that he produce several songs on the R&B album, The Love Album, Off the Grid, which was released in September 2023 and was nominated for a Grammy. Mr. Jones agreed, and his life has been detrimentally impacted ever since. The lawsuit says Jones alleges that Combs actually harassed and assaulted him while he lived with him at Combs' home in Florida, Los Angeles, and New York, as well as on a yacht Combs rented in the U.S. Virgin Islands. The harassment and assault included constant, unsolicited, and unauthorized groping and touching of his anus. My God. According to the lawsuit, Jones says he was forced to work in Combs' bathroom as Combs showered in a naked glass enclosure, according to the lawsuit. So if he was hired to produce on this album, what in the world, why would he have to work in a bathroom? Did he like take the producing equipment into the bathroom to mix and master or whatever while he's showering naked as you please? Child, it's a lot. When he raised concerns about the behavior to Combs' chief of staff, the lawsuit says she dismissed them as friendly horseplay, stating that those acts were Mr. Combs' way of showing that he likes you. The lawsuit accuses Coram of aiding and abetting Combs' sexual assault of Jones and working with Combs to groom him into an acceptable homosexual relationship. Jones also alleges that he was forced to solicit ex-workers and perform X acts with them to please Combs. To aid in the alleged recruitment, Jones said Combs provided him with an exclusive bad boy baseball cap and required him to wear it to a Miami establishment. As a signal to any ex-worker, he approached that Combs was in town and had sent Jones to recruit them, the lawsuit says. Jones alleges Combs, who he described in the suit as forceful and demanding, and someone who does not take no for an answer, leveraged his power as one of the most influential people in hip-hop and business to intimidate him, including by threatening to inflict bodily harms if Jones did not comply with his demands. On one occasion, Jones alleges Combs forced him to watch as he displayed his weapons and bragged about getting away with pow-powing people. In a separate incident, Jones alleges that Combs shared that he was responsible for a pow-powing in a nightclub in New York City in 1999 with rapper Shine, born Jamal Barrow. A jury acquitted Combs of pow-pow possession and bribery charges in connection with the incident, while Barrow was sentenced to 10 years in jail. Jones was terrified of Combs and felt he could not tell him no, according to the suit. Mr. Combs made it clear that he has immense power in the music industry and with law enforcement. So you get the gist of the lawsuit. If you want to read more, you can check it out on NBC News or Google Diddy's latest lawsuit. So he's saying that there was an exclusive Bad Boys baseball cap that he would have to wear into an establishment to let people know that he was open for business. What do y'all think? Do y'all believe it? Do y'all think it's true? It definitely sounds plausible. And the man is saying that he has hours of audio and visual to back up his claims. So we shall see. I'm definitely going to keep my eyes open for more updates. Speaking of lawsuits, come on, Don Lemon. This is according to The Wrap. CNN pays Don Lemon $25 $4.5 million to settle Anchor's network ouster exclusive. The former primetime anchor was ousted 10 months ago after butting heads with CNN This Morning co-host. Don Lemon, the former primetime host of CNN, has finally agreed to a deal to separate with the network. Sources exclusively tell the Wrap that Lemon, 57, has agreed to a separation deal with CNN for approximately $24.5 million, which would be the full complete pay from his final contract, which extended 3.5 years from his ousting. I'm sorry. I feel like I had a glitch for a second. Like my brain just froze. Lemon got into crosshairs with CNN brass when he moved from his popular primetime show to the mornings alongside Caitlin Collins and Poppy Harlow. He startled his female colleagues with his implication that Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley at age 51 was past her prime. Y'all remember that? Because I remember that whole conversation. Things got sour for Lemon. Did they do that on purpose? Things got sour for Lemon when he said Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Sorry. Lemon explained why he was uncomfortable with the age discussion. When a woman is considered to be in her prime, in her 20s, 30s, and maybe her 40s. The network dismissed Lemon after his show, in which he described as a termination. It is clear that there are some larger issues at play, Lemon wrote on social media. He said that he was stunned by the news and was informed by his agent. I would have thought that someone in management would have had the decency to tell me directly, he said, while under the tenure of former embattled CNN chief Chris Licht, who was fired months later. CNN, the strategy and their content and the direction they wanted to go in. I was not a part of that, Lemon later said in a conversation with Kara Swisher. They did not want me to be a part of that. And I think that has, from what has played out publicly as it relates to CNN, as it relates to management and what they're doing now, I think that it's obvious that they didn't want me to be a part of that. Now Lemon is preparing to launch a new show on Elon Musk's X platform on March 11th. The new program, The Don Lemon Show, will allow him to be bigger, bolder, and freer, Lemon said in a posting. The show will be available to everyone easily, whenever and wherever you want it, streaming on the platforms where conversations are happening. This is just the beginning, so stay tuned. Reps for Lemon immediately got back to us. His attorney, Brian Friedman, did not comment. A CNN spokesperson said, while we never comment on specifics of any employee contract, this story is incorrect. So CNN, what part is incorrect? Is the part about the him not knowing beforehand and having to find out from his agent. Not correct, because if I'm not mistaken, around this time, this was all happening in real time, when Don said that he had to find out from his agent. CNN kind of said, like, no, that's not true. So are they saying that's not true? Or are they saying that it's not true, that they were going in a different direction and Don wasn't a part of that? Or are they saying the $24.5 million payout wasn't true? I'm guessing it's the latter two, and they're just kind of trying to do a wordplay like, we don't comment on specifics of any employee contract, but this story is incorrect. So maybe they're trying to say, again, it's incorrect that we wanted to move in a different direction and Don wasn't a part of it. I just feel like there's some wordplay with that going on, but they want to make it seem as if none of it is true. So kudos to you, Don, for getting your $24.5 million payout, and much success to your show on Elon Musk's X, also known as Twitter to me. Let's get into another lawsuit. Y'all, it is lawsuit central. Let's talk about it. RadarOnline.com. Wendy Williams' caregiver accused of pursuing baseless guardianship and $30 million lawsuit. Diddy's accuser, his is a $30 million lawsuit. Don just allegedly got paid out 24.5, and Wendy's guardian was sued for $30 million because of a baseless guardianship. So let's get into it. Wendy Williams' guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, and her firm are accused of shady business in a $30 million lawsuit, claiming she and others pursued a baseless guardianship over a New York man who was awarded a $5.5 million personal injury claim. Morrissey was revealed to be the mystery woman in charge of Williams' life when she sued Lifetime parent company A&E Networks ahead of the release of a documentary about the embattled talk show host. Morrissey became Williams' court-appointed caregiver in May 2022, the same year the newly revealed lawsuit against her and others were filed, RadarOnline.com has learned. Williams' guardian and other attorneys are listed as defendants in the now dismissed lawsuit filed by attorney Michael Flomenhoff of the Flomenhoff Law Firm, PLLC, who represented Jose Verdugo after he sustained head and back injuries from a construction accident, according to The Sun. Flomenhoff said problems arose in 2009 when a former associate named Herbert reached out to his client. Herbert allegedly misrepresented to Verdugo about Flomenhoff's handling of his case, claiming that it could not be finalized unless Verdugo consented to an MHL Article 81 guardianship that Verdugo did not want or need. So basically, Verdugo was injured and was awarded a $5.5 million settlement. Flomenhoff Law Firm handled it. Someone reached out to Verdugo, who won the settlement, and said, hey, Flomenhoff didn't handle your case correctly, so you actually need a guardian according to an MHL Article 81 guardianship. You need that in order for us to settle your case and basically for you to get your money. According to the docs, Morrissey began serving as Verdugo's guardian starting on January 19th, 2010, and she continued until October 7th, 2015, so almost 5 years. Herbert and his firm initially partnered and conspired with Sabrina Morrissey. I'm sorry, it was over 5 years, January 2010 to October 2015. Herbert and his firm initially partnered and conspired with Sabrina Morrissey, Esquire of M&M, to impose on Verdugo an MHL, which is a mental hygiene law, Article 81 guardianship, the lawsuit stated. Under the guise of protecting and vindicating Verdugo, they jointly pursued a dual litigation strategy aimed at getting rid of Flomenhoff. So basically, they're saying Sabrina Morrissey and her firm and whoever this was that reached out to Verdugo set it up to try to set up a strategy to try to get rid of the lawyer and are accused of reaping Morrissey and Morrissey substantial court-awarded fees as guardian counsel through litigation, maligning Flomenhoff legally and ethically. Morrissey and her firm allegedly were imprisoning Verdugo in a humiliating and oppressive guardianship by manipulating and serially deceiving him, all while plundering the man's multi-million-dollar personal injury recovery. Empowered by both the confidence that their fee applications would be judicially rubber-stamped and the consistent judicial resistance to affording Verdugo an opportunity to demonstrate his capacity under the New York mental hygiene law and thus the validity of the guardianship, defendants have been untrammeled in their scheme, the doc stated about her and her firm, Morrissey and Morrissey LLP. So what they're saying is basically they were confident that their fee applications would be court approved, and they were not affording Verdugo the opportunity to prove his mental competency. And what's interesting is when I think about what happened with Wendy, Sabrina initially shut down her Wells Fargo accounts and said Wendy basically wasn't mentally capable of handling that and wasn't mentally all there, but then demanded then basically said she would only talk to Wendy if she's not competent and not able to handle her own affairs. Why then would you demand to just talk to Wendy by herself if she's not competent? According to the bombshell report, the claims were dismissed voluntarily before Morrissey or the other defendants filed a response. RadarOnline.com has reached out to Morrissey's firm to comment. So Wendy's guardian and her firm was sued. A lawsuit was brought against them, basically saying that this guardianship was forced on this man. I want to know how that works, though. How can you say that? Or did he believe them when they reached out to him, signed paperwork and then was locked in. Remember, y'all, The Housewife and Hustler, was that what it's called? With Erica and Tom Girardi, when all the news first broke about Tom a couple years ago, when we watched the special, one of the victims said it was he was a young guy at the time, and it was awarded all these millions of dollars. He was burned over more than half his bodies and would have to have lifelong surgeries. Remember, he said Tom called him and said he had to have a guardian or somebody over him with all of that money, and they would only release a little bit to him at a time. But actually, it wasn't even true. But Tom, being his lawyer, he believed Tom. So I wonder if a lot of lawyers do that. Like these people that they win these people big money for their cases. Then they say, due to X amount of dollars because of your age, or we need to test your mental capacity to see if you're able to handle all this money. Because I remember them talking about that in that documentary with Tom Girardi. So that is interesting. I will say about the documentary, I believe the documentary did what it was supposed to do and show how her current team is mishandling her. I don't care what anybody says. Kevin Jr. was doing this, was doing that. You can look at video footage of when Wendy was under her son's care. She looked happy. She looked healthy. She looked coherent. And she was not itching to get back to New York at that time. Now Sabrina Morrissey is appointed guardianship. She comes back to New York, and there's no food or water in her home, but liquor somehow is in her home. Wendy didn't have a credit card to get that liquor. So who's supplying her with the liquor? She's looking very underweight, let's be honest. So I don't know. I truly hope that all the wrongs that have been done by Wendy are righted, and that she gets the care that she needs. I mean, to watch her cry for her family, to watch her be separated, I don't know. And all of this, again, under a guardianship. So I do wonder why this suit was dropped. Very interested. All right, y'all, let's go on over to not a lawsuit, but a different type of legal paperwork, shall we? Exclusive, according to radaronline.com. Radar gets everything. So, of course, who is on staff over there? I'm sure they probably get paid just to look up court cases. Porsha Williams puts ex Simon Guobadia on notice. Don't destroy, conceal, or alter financial records during divorce or else. Porsha Williams had a stern warning for her estranged husband, Simon Guobadia, cautioning him from destroying, concealing, or altering any documents or evidence related to their financial records during their divorce or else. RadarOnline.com obtained the Real Housewives of Atlanta divorce petition filed in Georgia on February 22nd, in which Williams demanded the prenuptial agreement they signed just days before their wedding be enforced. The Bravo celebrity, who announced her return to the Housewives franchise before pulling the plug on her 15-month marriage, made it clear that she doesn't want her estranged husband to alter their financials or sell off any property during the divorce battle. After a petition for divorce has been filed, no transfer of property by either party, except a bona fide transfer and payment of pre-existing debts, shall pass title so as to avoid the vesting thereof, according to the final verdict of the jury in the case, the documents read. It's a mouthful, child. Pending the financial determination of the court, the right of either party to alimony, neither party shall make any substantial change in the assets of the party's estate, except in the course of ordinary business affairs and except for bona fide transfers for value. Williams' petition continued. The reality star didn't hold back on her demands, warning her ex not to destroy, conceal, or alter any video, audio, paper, or electronic files or other data in connection with this pending litigation, including but not limited to any of the following items that are either presently in your possession or control, or which may come into your possession while this case is ongoing: any financial records or statements, all income records, all tax records, all expense records, all recordings or evidence reflecting relevant conduct by either party, any item that supports any defense raised by you to this complaint, and or any item which supports any claim made by you in any counterclaim or pleading filed in this manner. You are further notified that a failure to comply with this notice may result in sanctions for any destruction or failures to preserve any such evidence, including without limitation adverse interferences against you at trial, as well as an award of expenses and attorney fees necessitate by such conduct. Cha. That's a lot. Williams appears to want to wrap up the divorce quickly, noting that they do not share any minor children, so custody and child support won't be an issue. The RHOA star has one daughter, Pilar Jenna McKinley, 4, with whom she shares with ex Dennis McKinley. The divorce documents also reveal that Williams and Guabadia signed their prenup on November 17th, 2022, before saying I do 8 days later on November 22nd, 2022. She wants the prenup enforced and is also demanding her ex pay for her attorney fees while citing that the marriage is irretrievably broken with no prospects for reconciliation. Now, remember, Simon is also in another lawsuit with this jet company, sort of like, I've heard people liken it to like a timeshare jet company where you have like a partial ownership in it, and evidently he owes them $1 million and was supposed to be making payments and made one payment, so now they are suing. Simon got a lot of there on his plate. Miss Porsha said, wrap it up, wrap it up. Woo, people can take note. Hey, Ashley Darby. Oh, that's right. You're not really getting divorced anyway. I do have a question for any attorneys that may be watching or anybody know any have gone through a divorce or divorce proceedings. Is that normal or standard that there would be a clause in the divorce if the couple, if each has properties or if they have properties together, to specifically put in the paperwork, don't destroy, conceal, or alter financial records during the divorce? I never heard of that, so I was just curious to see if that's standard practice and the headlines are just headlining, or is that something that you have to specifically put in, your divorce? Speaking of divorces, Ray J and Princess Love filed for divorce for a 4th time. Shout out to Princess for winning the poker tournament. I forget how much money it was she won, but shout out to her for that. Ray J and Princess Love are calling it quits again. The actress filed for divorce from the One Wish hitmaker in Los Angeles County Monday after nearly 8 years of marriage, documents obtained by Page Six revealed. The couple split is their 4th divorce attempt since May 2020, as they've continuously dismissed their previous requests while working through their differences. Hours after filing the papers, Love got candid about the breakup on Instagram, admitting it's in their best interest to go their separate ways. It is with heavy hearts that we share the news of our decision to divorce, she wrote. After much reflection, discussion, and counseling, we have come to the difficult realization that our paths have diverged. She continued, we want to reassure you that this decision was made thoughtfully and with mutual respect and consideration for each other's well-being. The Love and Hip Hop Hollywood star, who shares daughter Melody 5 and son Epic 4 with the sexy Can I crooner, further said that while their relationships as spouses may be coming to an end, they remain committed to co-parenting. Though this chapter of our lives may be closing, we look forward to embracing the opportunities for growth, healing, and new beginnings that lie ahead. Reps for Ray J 43 and Princess Love 39 weren't immediately available to Page Six for comment. Love first filed for divorce from her husband in May of 2020, alleging he stranded her and her daughter in Vegas while he went to a strip club. Y'all remember that? However, Ray J denied the claims, claiming his now ex-wife was left in the hotel room. I would never, he previously said on the Wendy Williams show in December of 2019, I would never leave my baby and my wife. I would die first before I leave them on the side of the road. In July 2020, the reality star dismissed the case, but within a few months, Ray J filed for divorce that September. At the same time, an insider told us that the Wait a Minute singer and Love simply didn't want to be married to each other. I mean, sometimes it's as simple as that. You just don't want to be married anymore to each other. That same month, Ray J claimed he and Love went to counseling, but it was always one-sided. They called off the split in March 2021 before Ray J filed for the third time in October 2021. They eventually reconciled 2 years later. Ray and Love tied the knot in August 2016 at an event space in Los Angeles. Listen, when he threw that, wait, didn't he push her in the pool? She like threw wine. That's one of my favorite gifts. I haven't used that in a while, though. I'm gonna have to use that. But when she threw that wine at him, but then he pushed her in the pool, I knew right then. I mean, signs before that would have told you, but when he pushed her in that pool, I said, girl, 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 girl. So we shall see if they go through with this one. Hopefully it's all amicable for their kids. There are 2 children involved, ages 5 and 4. So you hope that there's not the stress or cloud of anger that sometimes goes along with these divorces. Y'all, thank y'all so much for, you know what? Before I go, I need to tell y'all something. So yesterday, I meant to tell y'all yesterday, but I didn't do a video. I was doing my thing. Y'all know I do this gig work out here in these streets and had a passenger in the car. It's in the morning. And I've told y'all, as much as I like to talk, when I'm working out or when I'm doing that gig work, I don't like to have conversation. I really don't. I like to pull up, confirm who the person is, where they're being dropped off, and that's it. And say good morning, good afternoon, whatever. I pick up a girl first thing yesterday morning, and she says, "How's your day going?" Ma'am, it just started. Fine. How's yours? Great. And there was a guy that was standing out there with her when I pulled up, but he didn't get in the car. And she says, "I just need to get this off my chest." I said, "Here we go." She says, the guy that was standing out there, all of a sudden, her whole verbiage changes. Yo, he likes women's underwear, yo. And I just need to tell somebody. I said, "Oh, okay." Inside though, I'm like crying. Crying because she's talking to me, and especially about this. Like, I want to be like, okay. But so she says, "Yo, he doesn't like, he likes women's underwear, yo. I've grown up with him, known him all my life. Yo, I'm not saying he's gay, but he likes women's underwear, yo. Like, he says they're more comfortable. He comes to my house yesterday and now, I did not ask why, y'all. I refused when she said this. I was like, nope, I'm not getting caught up. Because I'm already caught up against my will right now. She says, "Yo, he came to the house yesterday, the night before, and brought my mom a pack of underwear, yo, and was like, these are really comfortable." But evidently, I guess he had an extra pack, brought them for her mom, but her mom and him don't wear the same size. So I guess he has 2 of the same type of women's underwear now. And I said, well, the most important thing is that he's comfortable down there. She said, "I know, but I just can't wrap my head around it. Like, yo, he wears women's underwear, yo." And I said, I couldn't do it. I didn't have any more to contribute to the conversation. I think she sensed it. And she said, I just had to tell you that now you can go and tell somebody that a girl got in the lift and told you that her boy wears women's underwear." And I said, "Will do." And I just wanted to keep my promise to her and tell y'all. All right, y'all. I will talk to y'all later on my way to the gym. It is leg day, and I'm thinking of all the excuses why not to go. Talk to y'all later. Bye.